our local, particularly young people and our dreamers and our DACA recipients. And she also, if that's not enough, you can also see Addy on the news fighting over Gateway and not closing the school. So wherever there is a cause, Addy can be found there. And I think that the Martin Luther King Jr. quote about none of us are free until all of us are free really applies to Addy, because Addy gets that and she personifies that. And she understands that it's not just advocating for one group of disenfranchised people, but that we have to advocate for all people. So it's my pleasure to invite Addy Jeffrey to come.
Let me put my glasses on so I can see. Okay, here we go. I am really deeply grateful for this recognition, and thank you, Lindy, and the entire board of the YWCA. And so Lindy asked me to speak for about 3 to 5 minutes, but I do come from a Cuban family. And I do like to talk a lot, but I will try to keep it short. Receiving this recognition for social justice made me think about certain experiences that have affected my journey in life. And things like seeing my own immigrant parents struggle, being affected by cancer, and having a child with a rare genetic disorder. These are things that have shaped my life. My parents left Cuba in 1959 because of the political situation there at the time. And so I was born in New York, and at an early age, I remember being an interpreter for my parents. As I grew up, I did see how my parents were, really struggled at times and were discriminated against because of their language barrier and their financial situation and other things. And so looking back, I think that probably had a profound effect on my life, where I am now. So after moving our family to Greensboro 15 years ago, I had the opportunity to become an AmeriCorps volunteer, and I was placed at a local church which provided assistance for undocumented immigrants. And I wasn't really familiar with the issue of folks that were undocumented, because my own family was not affected by that issue. So I met people that were victims of human trafficking, students that couldn't go to college because of their immigration status. I met construction workers who were victims of wage theft from just about every building that you see here in Greensboro. And I also met construction workers that suffered major horrific injuries. One worker severed part of his hand, and he was dropped off at a local ER and fired, all in the same day. Since completing AmeriCorps in 2008, I, along with many other advocates, have continued working on issues affecting our immigrant community. But, life throws things at you sometimes that are unexpected, and my life took a very unexpected turn when I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2011. And I was really shocked to learn that my advanced breast cancer was not visible on several of my previous mammograms due to my level of breast density, which really just makes it hard to distinguish cancer from your breast tissue. And then I learned that only Connecticut had a law in the entire nation that required mammography facilities to inform women about this particular risk. So while undergoing treatment, a friend of mine introduced me to the City of Greensboro's Commission on the Status of Women, where I met Lindy. And together, we actually created an awareness program to inform women in Greensboro about breast density. And 3 years later, that awareness program actually directly led to the passage of the North Carolina Breast Density Notification Law for all women of North Carolina on July of 2013. as you heard Lindy mention earlier, many of you probably heard about the impending closure of Gateway Education Center, which is a school that has served children with significant disabilities for decades here in Greensboro. And our son, Paulie, attended Gateway for 14 years. Gateway is actually one of the main reasons why we decided to move our family to Greensboro. And so a group of parents, many of us actually that didn't know each other, came together, and for 34 days, we were led by the PTA president of Gateway, Dania Ermintrout, and others like Byron Gladden, who I think was coming here tonight, there you go. And together we advocated, and we spoke to the school board, we spoke to county commissioners, and they listened and decided to fund $1.8 million towards the much-needed repairs to keep Gateway open with disabled children living in East Greensboro. So, my journey as an advocate has evolved through experiences in my life and inspired by people that have been part of my journey. My family and my beautiful husband, Paul, who has been my partner for almost 35 years, and so many of my friends who are here tonight with me. And so I want to thank you all again for this recognition. It is an honor to receive the Social Justice Award from an organization whose mission is dedicated to eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity. The YWCA has actually given hope for many people living in our community. And so I'll just close my remarks with a quote that I love very much that was shared with me by my friend Whitney, who's here. A quote by Václav Havel. And it is this, that hope is an ability to work for something because it is good, not just because it stands a chance to succeed. It is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense regardless of how it turns out. It is also this hope that gives us the strength to live and continually try new things. Thank you.